and welcome to Book Buzz, brought to you by the Peters Township Public Library. I am Miss Shannon.
And I'm Miss Linda, and we are here to give you at least the first half of January's activities in the Youth Services Department.
Yes, New Year 2024. Here we are.
New Year, yep, and it's January. And we were just talking, a couple minutes ago, of how much we dislike the month of January.
Really,
and
not,
I know
not
that there's
a fan.
I know you've got more reasons, but my reasons are because it's usually dreary,
Yes,
and cold,
short days.
yeah, and then I hear from my family that's in Florida, and that makes me feel even worse. So yeah, January, but
We still have fun at the library.
we have fun at the library. That's what I was going to say. There's so much that we're going to be bringing up, that we're going to be doing, and great books that we're going to promote. Before we move on, because I feel I think uncomfortable in this shirt, that since I put it on at home and came here, and I just feel self-conscious of it, because like I showed you. So I don't know when we ordered these shirts. Like, I don't even know what size it is because I didn't even look. But I put it on today, and it was like all the way down. It was so big, and then I thought maybe I could tie it up. Then I thought, well, I'll roll up the sleeves. So I roll up the sleeve. Now look how big that is. Mm-hmm. If I keep rolling up, see, look at the room. Now show yours.
Mine are tight though.
Yeah, but if you rolled it up, it'd be just as tight.
Yeah.
Mine's loose. I could fit another wrist in here. I could. So anyway,
But they match, and they support they have our library book theme going on.
What we will do for Book Buzz, what we will do to promote our library.
We've had these for a few years.
We have, and I don't know
You
why.
should have found somebody to trade with you.
This is true. Yeah, like John. Give this to a guy. All right, so there's my first January complaint.
Okay.
All right, I'll get over it. I'm over it. All right, go ahead.
So cool. So it is New Year. We are
Yeah.
getting ready to start back with all of our seasonal programming. We were on break for those for a while because of the holidays. So all of our weekly story times, like our book babies, our preschool story time, our toddler tales, all of that meets on a weekly basis, will start back up on the 8th. And all the programs will be going live. Actually, a lot of them dropped on Christmas, which I'm sure you all were happy to go and log in on Christmas to register for your programming.
Is that when they're dropping?
Yes, some of them are, yeah.
Oh,
because the Monday ones, yeah, because it works out to be, 3 weeks exactly.
Okay. I'm glad you said that, because even I did not realize that. And I have been going in on our calendars and looking to see what's happening so far as registrations.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's not.
Right, because it's 3 weeks, I think, prior.
Right.
And I had a patron that came in wanting to register, and I said, well, you can't register until Christmas, so.
Well, Merry Christmas
to
all of our library friends.
Right, for sure. But anyways, so they will all start on the 8th, and you register week by week for all those programming.
Yeah, except for our special programming.
Right.
So,
Yes.
oh, you'll keep hearing about that from us.
Yes.
But
So,
yes.
and then this has not really gone away. It's every month, because it's a monthly program, is our volunteer programs. So we do accept teen volunteers, and to be a volunteer at the library, you have to be in 7th through 12th grade, and you have to be a part of our volunteer group, which meets once a month, either Thursday or Saturday, always the first Thursday or the first Saturday. So this month will work out to be the 4th or the 6th. Thursday is an evening program, and Saturday is a Saturday morning. You come in, it's an hour long. We talk about what's going on at the library for teens, what we'd like to see happen for libraries for teens, and then they usually do a little bit of a volunteer project. And a lot of actually almost all of our teen programming has been suggested by teens that are part of our volunteer group. So
it's
a really cool way to get your ideas involved. With that being said, our Teen Choice Book Club is entirely voted on by people both in the book club and that are part of the volunteer group. So for January, we're going to be discussing The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which has been around for a long time. This actually was released when I was a teen, so I'm excited to see it happening. That they want to read it again. And really cool. This one is not, but I do still have a copy from when we read it with our teen book club before. And we read it in 2014. So now exactly 10 years later, with a whole other group of teens.
Oh, wow.
Because obviously 10 years ago, my teens are teens now. We're not teens 10 years ago.
Right.
I want to read it again. So this is like definitely a modern day classic.
Oh, cool.
So I'm really excited, and we will be playing the movie afterwards because the movie was filmed at the Peters Township Middle School. It was then the high school. Also, lots of other areas of Pittsburgh were used for the film, but it's really cool to watch the movie because you might recognize some of the classrooms. The cafeteria is used, so that's pretty cool. So we'll be reading this and discussing it on the 6th with pizza, and we will. If you want to stay and watch the movie with us afterwards, you can.
I have, and you probably already know this, but may or may not remember, my tidbit of information on that movie was when it was filmed at the high school, which, like you said, is now the middle school. My son and all of his football, my son was on the football team, and all of his football buddies are in the movie.
Right.
Because, it was cool to watch a movie and see all the kids in the cafeteria and everything, but they actually used the football team out on the field to do.
Right, they go to a football game.
So it was like, that is really cool.
Yeah,
it was
that is
really
so
cool
cool.
because the author's from Upper St. Clair.
Right.
So I thought, no offense, Upper St. Clair, that it was made here.
Yes. And actually, Stephen Chbosky, this is his only book, and he does a lot of film. He writes a lot of film and TV shows. You'll see his name pop up on credits a lot.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that I haven't noticed, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, good job. So here we are. It's a new year. We don't have our little juice boxes, although I was going to bring in hot chocolate, but I thought, new year, let's get
have better, healthier habits. New Year's resolution to drink more water.
Well, you know what? That was what I was thinking about.
Yeah. We always talk about how we don't
Well,
drink
this
enough
is
water.
healthier than our juice boxes,
Right.
for sure.
Okay.
And then I thought, one thing that we didn't mention right at the beginning, because this is a new year, do you have any New Year's resolutions? Do you ever make them?
Yeah, and I never do very well with that.
Yeah.
And no, I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm still figuring out. We'll go with the drink more water. That's a good goal.
Yeah, it is a good goal. All right. There. So
Have
far
a little
you've
bit
fulfilled
healthier
it.
lifestyle.
Yeah. Don't you feel good?
Yes. Maybe eat more veggies.
Okay. That's a good one, too.
Yeah.
I know. I never, I used to make them and really think about it, other than the usual exercise more, lose weight, or whatever. And then you think, well, I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to be nice this year. What do you think?
Good luck.
Hey, one could work hard. I could work hard on that. I know. That's what why did I know this was going to end like that? So with that note, I'm going to be a better person, and I'm going to move on and quit talking about it before I slug you. Okay. No. See,
Yeah,
I'm already a better person.
Yes.
I patted you.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool. Move on.
I win. Okay. Now, my tween book club meets on Monday, January 25th, 4 o'clock. The kids come walk over from McMurray usually. And it is, this month's read is The Goldfish Boy by Lisa Thompson. And a boy trapped inside by his OCD might be the only one who can solve a startling crime. Matthew Corbin hasn't been to school in weeks. His hands are cracked and bleeding from cleaning. He refuses to leave the safety of his bedroom, watching from upstairs window as life goes on without him. Matthew's hopes for solitude are shattered, however, when a young child staying next door goes missing. Suddenly, the neighborhood is swarming with police and reporters, and everyone is concerned with what Matthew has seen from his window, and he might just hold the key to solving the mystery before it's too late.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't that sound really cool?
Yeah.
So he asked that, and it says, but does he even want to try, because it means exposing his own secrets in the process. So the Goldfish Boy, I just love coming up with, when we do this, like subjects of all different kinds.
Yeah.
Work in
neat.
all different, get the kids thinking about outside of their box and their realm. So
very cool.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. Okay, so moving on, we have our January teen made and tween made craft. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's a they're going to be painting with watercolors to create a bookshelf that you will use to then track your reading of the year. So like, a lot of us track reading through like Goodreads or something. This is actually a physical thing where you can get basically your own made book log.
Yeah.
So it's it looks really, really cool. They're going to paint little books, make a little bookshelf, and then on each book you can write as you're reading, like Perks of Being a Wallflower, Goldfish Boy, whatever you're reading, on the books that are on this bookshelf, and you can display it in your room or wherever you want to. So that will be on the 9th, Tuesday. The tweens are right after school, 4 o'clock, and the teens are in the evening at 6:30. So that will be a lot of fun. And then for our night with WQED, we don't have any books available because his show's, I guess, very popular right now. There was no props for me to bring, but we're going to team up with Don Quixote, which Don Quixote is made by Fred Rogers Studios. And it does connect to the original Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in the sense that some of the characters are in that. So Don Quixote, I don't know if he was in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but I know Purple Panda, who is his best friend, was for sure.
I don't know all the characters, but I didn't think.
So Purple Panda was in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, just like Daniel Tiger connects to the original Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So does Don Quixote.
Cool.
So super cute show for preschool age, and I do want to stress that the WQED nights are geared for preschool kids and older, because there is usually a craft activity or a coloring activity. So 3-4-year-old and like up is usually the best age for that.
Very good.
Yeah.
And popular.
Yeah, they're fun.
So yeah, they're so good to see. I wanted to back up real quick. Those book trackers. What a great idea! And I saw like her sample when she was working out the different painting that she was doing. And I use Goodreads.
Yeah.
It just tracks the books and the authors.
Right.
And then you can give it...
you can rate them, yeah.
Yeah. But I actually, in our book group, I don't know, do you have anybody, we were both in, adult book groups, that actually keeps track, not only keeps track of everything, but like writes something about like every book?
I used to do that and stopped. And my mom, actually in my old book group, I got everybody like little journals so that they could do that. And my mom did for a while too, and then also stopped. But my grandmother used to do that. So this so really obviously any keeping track on anything digital.
Right.
My grandmother was the biggest reader that I knew for sure, and she would go through a couple hundred books a year. Usually she would do a book every couple days. And she didn't really necessarily write a synopsis or anything of it, but she did keep a notebook always on her, like in her purse, of every of the book titles she read, because when she read that much, she was not a rereader. So she didn't want to read the same book twice. So she would go back in her notebook to see, if you're following, a certain author, did I read that one yet or not, or whatever. Yeah. So she used to keep
I've done that where you're like.
And that's one thing that I don't know whatever happened to that notebook, but I would have liked to have had that.
Oh, that'd be really, wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool to have had.
To see what she's read. But the woman in ours, she actually does the synopsis and everything, which I think is really cool, because sometimes even if, well, let me put it this way. Sometimes when I forget what I had for dinner last night or what I did, like all the books that we read between our jobs and, the book clubs that we do, that's a good idea to just write that. And sometimes people will ask for suggestions, like my sister in Florida for her book club is always asking, what have you been reading? And if I had that, like she can go into my Goodreads and get all the titles and everything. But if I had that where I could just give a little blurb on what it's about, because I always have to stop and think, okay, now that one was about, because we read so I think that's just a great idea. I really hope when the kids make these book trackers that they use them.
Yeah, I do too.
Use them as such.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Okay,
Very cool.
I'm just going to continue walking. Or talking, not walking. Well, I can walk and talk. Walk right out of here. Okay, so, all right, this is a program that we had scheduled in the summer that got canceled. Was that when I
broke her arm?
I was going to say, was that when I broke my arm? Oh, look at me now. Yes, it got canceled because I'd broken my arm and had to take time off. But it is back. We're going to be doing it on Monday, January 15th at 6:30. This one also is for preschool and up, preschool age and up. You know, it's not for little ones and toddlers and babies and whatever. We have programs for them. This is preschool and up. They're going to learn about lemurs. We're going to do a little, little study on them, and then they'll come in, and there's the flyer. The kids will actually make a lemur.
A stuffed lemur.
A stuffed lemur. Yep, just like going to Build-A-Bear.
Yeah, very cool.
You are going to build a lemur.
And then we did manatees one year, and that was really fun.
How much fun was that?
Although there's been tragedies in the Poly House. The other day I was cleaning up, I'm like, what is that? Manatee's now lost both of its flippers.
Oh, geez. Now you can call it, I don't know, what would it be, stingray if it doesn't have anything on it?
Still has a cute face.
Oh, sure. And one more thing to mention, on things like this, we can't take any walk-ins because...
one lemur per person.
Yeah, it's one lemur per person, and we have them. We count them
and you
out.
have to register
Yeah.
every person that's going to be making a lemur. So if you have multiple children and they're all coming, and they all want to make one,
Each children, not the adults, just each child. And that's a good thing as a reminder.
Right.
You know, start your new year off with a New Year's resolution of when you're registering for the programs to look to see, who you should be registering.
Right.
In our case with kids, you're usually registering the child.
Yeah.
So no matter how many you have, list them all. Okay.
Wonderful. So we are partnering with Marianne Faber. She is a local children's physical therapist, and she has now started to do the sensory story times. And so she's going to be coming to the library to offer a sensory story time. We're starting it in January. There'll be one January, February, and March on a Thursday morning. So again, registration is required for that. The first one will be on Thursday, January 18th at 10.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think I look forward to seeing it.
To see how it goes, yeah.
And see how it goes, because we have, we've talked about it. We've done it in the past, and we've tried them, and some have worked, and, whatever. And I know it has been requested, and we have tried, but we have this woman that specifically does that.
Right.
And not all the other programs that we do.
Right.
That can specifically narrow in on what is needed, to make it a successful program. So
for sure.
I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, the cough attack. Now I'll be like, you'll hear me sucking on a cough drop. Oh, Preschool Palooza. Now this will be brought up again when we talk about the second half of January. But this has become a really fun annual event where we host all different preschools, and and there's a music academy coming, schools that, taking kids for, school. It's like a fair. We set it up. All the schools will have a table and all their information about that. It's like a one-stop shop. Everybody can come. It's such a huge decision.
Oh, yes. And there's so many great preschools in Peters Township.
Absolutely. There are so many. And this is a way to be able, to have to drive to all of them and look and stop and make appointments or whatever. They're going to be there, get the information. Like you said, there's so many good ones. And the interesting thing, too, is how different they can be.
Right.
One might be very, more free play and all of that. And some might be more... rigid, and I don't really mean that word rigid, but you know what I mean, more
academically structured.
Yeah, structured. That's the word. It's way better. Structured. So when you look at all of these, and you can see, only your child to see what works best for your child.
And registration for a lot of these preschools will start usually at the end of January, so this is the best time to go and meet with all these schools and make your decision as you're. And
absolutely.
With that being said, even if you have a child that's nowhere near the preschool age, maybe you only have a little baby or something.
Good point.
This is a good time to start looking at those things as well. So, and the whole family is welcome to come. and meet with these different schools. It's a really, really great program.
Yes, and as you said, because they will start doing the registration before, like in January and around that time. The 1 year that we had started this, we tried it a little bit later, not for me, not realizing the timing on that. And what I have found out that if we don't do it like at some point at a decent time in January, they fill up.
Yes.
So you want to know what you're doing, where you want to send your child and get registered and have it done. And I love your suggestion about even if you have ones that aren't ready for preschool, start looking.
Yeah.
Because it's a big decision and a lot of choices. So many good choices.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, so that's Saturday, January 20th from 11:30 to 1. It's an hour and a half. That's it. All the tables that you can go around and catch them all.
Right, and it's a stop and come program, so you don't register. You don't necessarily need to be there the whole time, so you can come whatever in that time frame that works best for you and your family that day.
Right. It's all good. All right.
Very
Love
cool.
that. Love that program.
All right, so books. You got a good one?
Maybe. Okay. So what I went with is my theme for for January. Let's not push February. For January, I was thinking about books for little ones like the picture books as well as chapter books that had like a wintry feel to it. Like
I did the same thing.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Oh, copycat. And we didn't even know. We don't know each other. We have no idea what we're doing.
We have no idea what we're doing. Yep, that's all we're going to say.
Okay.
We have no idea what we're doing.
I know what I'm doing. That's all I got to say. So anyway, but then, I topped it with one more thing.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe I could one-up you on this one.
Good luck.
All right. Okay. One that is really fun, a winter read, is Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Yes.
That's
there
such a
it
good
is.
one.
It is hard. It was hard enough for Mr. Popper to support himself, Mrs. Popper, Bill, and Janie Popper. The addition of 12 penguins to the penguin family made it impossible to make both ends meet. Then Mr. Popper had a splendid idea. The penguins might support the Poppers. And so they did. Then, now this is what I like to do. Read the book. Then come.
I do love this movie too, Jim Carrey.
Come and check out the movie. This is Mr. Popper's Penguins with Jim Carrey. I mean, you look at the cover and you just want to laugh.
Oh, it's
His
so funny.
face.
There's one part where the penguin floods the bathroom and you can see the penguin like swimming in the
All right, yeah, well, that's all
it's
good.
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, so pair them up.
They are different for sure.
That's
the storyline's different.
What is cool about it though is that like when you get, not all books and movies are exactly the same.
No.
A lot of times they can be different.
Right.
And then it's cool to compare. So my suggestion, read first, then watch. But that's how I do it. So however you want to do it, there's a chunk of time in the winter. Okay,
Yes.
next.
Okay, so I was looking for cozy reads.
Okay.
And I actually searched cozy reads for teens. So those are not necessarily like new ones.
No, these aren't new ones. These are some classics I'm bringing.
And this one is like a cutesy little, they called it like a cozy romance, and I love the cover. It's called Recommended for You. So, takes place in a bookstore. Did someone say bookstore competition during the holidays? Bookstores are always super cozy, especially around the holidays. Add in an enemies to lovers romance, and you'll get the perfect read for a cold winter's day.
Oh, perfect.
So super, super cute.
That is cute.
All takes place in a bookstore. Fun book, recommended for you by Laura Silverman.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a good one. That's one that I would read.
Yeah, I add actually to my list because
Yeah.
I liked it. It looked cute.
Yeah, you bring a lot of, as we've talked before of the number of adults that read the, teen books, or young adult books, a lot. And that, would include us because we like them, but also because it's partly our job. But
Yeah. Right.
It's not a tough job to complain about. Okay, 2 minutes. All right, this one I could not find. This has to have a movie based on it, and I had to think about it. But if there is, I didn't see a DVD on it. Hans Brinker, The Silver Skates by Mary Mapes Dodd.
That's going back in the archive.
It is really going back. That's what I thought. I'm like, oh, cool. Gretel looked at her mother in troubled silence, wondering whether if it were very wicked to care for more than one parent than the other, and quite sure that she dreaded her father, while she clung to her mother with a love that was almost idolatry. From Hans Brinker. Wow, this is a beloved childhood favorite. Let me see, it went through more than 100 editions during the author's lifetime alone.
Wow.
Wow, first published.
Can I say I've not read that one?
First published 1865. Time to do classics, I mean, that's a good thing too. You know what would be, I know we only have a minute left, what would be a good resolution, like if you want to catch up on national award books, is to go through our award books, all the Newberries and the Caldecotts.
Well, Mr. Popper is a Newbery honor.
Well, see?
I'll fall asleep. I gotta get my cozy book and get my blanket.
Oh my gosh, just talking cozy. You just are gonna nod off.
Give me some hot cocoa and a blanket and a good book, and I am good to go.
Yeah, you are. Well, I feel the same way, so that's why. I know, but you know what? The only thing for us is, if we had more time.
Right. Too many good books, not enough time to read them all.
I know. Well, especially you, because you still have young ones at home.
Yeah.
I don't have that excuse, but I have a lot of other ones. Yes. So, all right.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah,
and we will see you next year for more cozy reads to start your 2024.
Oh, and winter cuddle up reads with movies. All right. We'll see you next time. We'll toast with our New Year's water.
Happy New Year. Our New Year's water.
There we go. We're being healthy.